The Taman Shud case, also known as Somerton Man mystery, began on December 1st, 1948, when an unidentified man was found dead on Somerton Beach near Adelaide, Australia. The man was well dressed and appeared to be in good physical condition. However, all the labels were removed from his clothing and there were no identification documents on his person. In a hidden pocket on the man's pants, investigators discover a small scrap of paper with the words Taman Shud printed on it. This phrase, meaning ended or finished in Persian, was traced back to a specific book of Persian poetry, the Raboyat of Omar Khayyam. Strangely, a copy of this book was found in the glove compartment of an abandoned car near the crime scene. Inside the book, police found a code that has yet to be deciphered. Despite extensive efforts to identify the man and solve the mystery, his true identity remains unknown. The absence of any personal belongings or identification marks, along with the peculiar circumstances surrounding the case, has fueled speculation about espionage, a secret love affair, or even unaliving. Over the years, the Taman Shud case has captivated the public's imagination and has become one of Australia's most enduring unsolved mysteries. Numerous investigations, including forensic analysis and attempts to crack the code, have failed to provide any conclusive answers. This case continues to be a subject of interest and speculation, with various theories proposed but none proven, leaving the identity and circumstances of the Somerton man's death shrouded in mystery. The Taman Shud case, or Sir Morton Man mystery, does not have specific suspects identified in the way a traditional criminal investigation might. However, here are a couple of individuals and elements associated with the case that have raised suspicions or garnered attention over the years. Jessica Thompson, also known as the Taman Shud woman, was initially connected through the book found in the car, the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. This book had a phone number written inside, which led to Jessica Thompson. She, of course, claimed to not know the Somerton man, but her connection to the case and the mysterious code, of course, has raised several questions. And there have been many suspicions regarding her involvement or knowledge of the events. Alfred Buxall. He was a man who was initially considered as a possible identity of the Somerton man. However, once he was found alive and well, his connection to the case remains unclear. potential espionage connection to the case. Some theories suggest that the Somorton man himself may have been involved in espionage due to the mysterious circumstances. For instance, the untraceable labels on his clothing and potential code in the book. It's important to note that the Taman Shud case remains unsolved, and the identity and circumstances surrounding the death of this Morton man are still subject to speculation and mystery. The lack of concrete evidence and the enigmatic nature of the case have made it very difficult to pinpoint specific suspects or motives definitively. Although the Somorton man mystery involves an unidentified man found unalive on Somorton Beach in Adelaide, Australia in 1948, there are some key details here related to the victim in this case. The man was found on December 1st, 1948, on Somerton Beach. He appeared to be in his 40s, was well dressed, and was in good physical condition. Despite a thorough investigation, authorities could not find any identification on his person. All labels had been removed from his clothing, and there was no marks or tattoos that could help to identify him. The discovery of Tamanshud scrap in a hidden pocket of the man's pants, investigators discovered a scrap of paper with the words Tamanshud printed on it, which of course we indicated translated to ended or finished in Persian. This scrap of paper was later tracked to a specific book of Persian poetry, the Rabayat of Omar Khayyam. This connection to this book also had a code in it that has yet to be deciphered. The book also contained the phone number of Jessica Thompson, known also as Jetson, which of course has raised her name as one of the potential suspects in the case. Jessica Thompson was a nurse who denied, of course, any connection to the Somerton case and claimed not to recognize the man's photograph. Despite extensive investigations, forensic analysis, and public interest, the true identity of the Somerton man and the circumstance of his death remain unresolved. In the case, various law enforcement agents and officials were involved in his investigation. The circumstances surrounding the death of the unidentified man found on Somerton Beach in 1948. Here is a summary of the key individuals involved in the investigation. Detective Sergeant Lionel Lean. He was the initial investigator assigned to the case, conducted the early stages of the investigation, including the examination of the crime scene and the victim's body. Detective Len Brown, who worked alongside Detective Lean in the early stages of the investigation. Professor John Cleland. He was the state coroner of South Australia at the time, and he conducted the autopsy on the Somerton man's body. Justice Edward Cleland. He is the Supreme Court judge and father of Professor John Cleland. He presided over the inquest into the Somerton man's death. Detective Joe Jerry O'Deary, assigned to the case later in the investigation. He played a role in examining the items found in the Somerton man case, including the Taman Should Scrap, and the Rabayat of Omar Khayyam book. Detective Don Napper. He investigated the case after O'Dyer. He attempted to follow up on leads and gather additional information on the case. Detective Owen Simpson. He worked on the case and, along with Napper, tried to solve the mystery of the Taman Should Scrap and the encrypted code found in the book. These law enforcement agents were faced with a puzzling and enigmatic case marked by the lack of identification, the mysterious Taman Should Scrap, and the presence of the coded message in the book. Despite their best effort, the case, as you know, is of course still unsolved, and the true identity of the Somerton man remains unknown.